Hi, and welcome back to the Book Beat. And we are here with Dr. Gagik Melikyan. And he is a scientist, a public advocate, and a professor of chemistry at Cal State University Northridge. And he is really passionate about protecting the American public from harmful chemicals and environmental pollutants. And he's the author of the award-winning book, Guilty Until Proven Innocent: Antioxidants, Foods, Supplements, and Cosmetics, in which he provides compelling evidence that antioxidants, foods, supplements, cosmetics, and natural compounds can be harmful. I know you didn't expect that, can be harmful to the human body. So now, wait a minute, green tea, really?
And resveratrol from red wine.
And oh wow, resveratrol, wow.
From red wine, yes.
Now, but I thought resveratrol was having amazing results and green tea. What is dangerous about green tea?
Green tea is advertised as an antioxidant.
Right.
Right. And the book explains for the general public, for a layperson, why these antioxidants, which are in green tea, if they give a positive result in the test, doesn't mean that they do anything good inside the body. Because all these advertisements are based on epidemiological studies, and even epidemiological studies.
Define epidemiological.
Epidemiological, when a large number of people, it can be thousands of people, are asked if they are using certain amount of green tea or you are using certain amount of red wine, and after that there are a certain number of factors which can factor in, and decisions are made, or certain results are coming from those analyses. This is not an experimental work in the laboratory. This is mostly asking people questions and after that analyzing the data. Even those data about green tea and red wine, and you know, resveratrol these days is one of the
that's a hot news supplement.
Yes, almost household name in the United States. It's absolutely inconclusive. Absolutely. On top of it, catechins, and this is the term for the compounds which are active in green tea, right? They are advertised as antioxidant, but at the same time, it's known that under physiological conditions, they generate hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is one of the strongest oxidizing agents in organic chemistry. We don't see this in those advertisements. Example with resveratrol, and one of the latest cases when the general public is given the information, which is not the whole truth. And in order to make an informed decision, of course, they need the whole information. I decided to write this book, and this is the first book I wrote for the general public, because I could see from the TV screens, through the radio channels, that they are not getting this information that they need.
Well, and here's the thing, because as you know, we don't have time to, right? Because we can't research it. So of course I'm going to be devil's advocate. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Okay. So of course I know you're not a real popular guy with a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to say, well, it's the drug companies that are secretly funding you, and so that's why you're out there, you know, with this anti-supplement. Is that true, or is that
It is absolutely not true. No? I heard this. Now, what is the situation? I am on the mission as a scientist. I am not getting a single penny from any drug company or supplement company. Absolutely not. We need to bring this knowledge to the general public. You are absolutely right that a layperson is not able to analyze this information because given the volume of information, which is absolutely incredible on a daily basis, of course it's not possible. But this is important that we tell them what exactly is known. I will give you an example for resveratrol. In 1940s, last century, there was a compound which was developed. It's called diethylstilbestrol. Abbreviation is DES. It has been developed to treat certain complications which are related to pregnancy, miscarriages. 20, 30 years fast forward, it caused vaginal and cervical cancer in thousands of women and was taken out of the circulation, was banned in European countries, also in the United States. Now, resveratrol from red wine is a direct structural analog of diethylstilbestrol.
Now, what is direct structural analog? Does that mean it has similar molecular structure?
Length is analogous. I have analyzed in my book the width of this, the functional disposition, topology, volume, everything is analogous.
So similar molecular structure?
Similar molecular structure, okay. Absolutely. On top of it, there is a certain type of oxidation which unfortunately happens inside our bodies. This is the reason why female hormone now is known to be carcinogen, something which is completely unheard of. Who could imagine that this kind of biogenic compound coming from the human body, female hormone, male hormones?
You mean natural?
Yes.
Naturally occurring hormones?
Naturally occurring, and not only is naturally occurring, on top of it is coming from the human body. It's not naturally occurring coming from the plant kingdom.
So you mean the hormones we manufacture?
Yes,
in our
hormones
bodies.
that we manufacture, and even they are known to be carcinogenic. And the reason, again, that specific type of oxidation. For resveratrol, it's known that this compound undergoes that specific type of oxidation, converts potentially into the carcinogenic orthoquinones. And when I see doctors, scientists, a whole establishment advertising this compound, promising people that they will live to 115 years, wherever this number is coming from, calling it America's #1 miracle pill. This, at some point, I said, I'm just fed up with this. I have to write this book. This is the reason. I just made it as simple as possible. Still, it's written for the professionals because also has a large number of references so that they can see where this information is coming from.
Resveratrol pushed you over the edge.
Absolutely. Resveratrol and green tea and the natural supplements.
Couldn't take it another day.
Natural supplements. It's definitely triggered that. But I have to say that I have 40 years of professional experience working at the interface of several disciplines. Organic, medicinal, enzymatic, hormonal, computational. And this is the first time I wrote this for the general public. It was quite difficult, actually, to go from the purely scientific mode of writing into the different mode.
And you really have to dumb it down
as much as possible.
Yeah,
as much as possible.
You do, because people are tired, and that doesn't mean you can't have the information. But because I've had academic clients that I've worked with, and it's hard. I know it's tough to do that.
Absolutely.
But and so here's a great example I got in my email this morning about fish oil.
Okay.
And prostate cancer, right? And fish oil, of course, a lot of people are taking it, and it's had great results for heart patients and all of that. But then somebody did a study, and they found that, are you familiar with that? That more men developed prostate cancer who were taking fish oil, right? So I read through the summary of this, and I barely had time to do that, and this was in very mainstream language. And the bottom line was, on this summary was, well, you have to weigh your chances, if your options. If you're a man, like let's say that they said 30,000 die of prostate cancer each year, but 600,000 die of heart disease, so maybe I'd be better off taking the fish oil, right? It's like a gamble. What would your answer be to that?
Let's talk about vitamins, and let's also talk about natural supplements, because they are different by their design. The good thing about vitamins is these are individual compounds. Natural supplements are a mixture of compounds. In many cases, we don't know what the structures are, how many components are present.
What's an example of a natural compound?
Whatever can be extracted from any plant. Any plant can be extracted, and this is sold on the market as different type of, it can be
like chlorophyll, for example.
It is different. The chlorophyll is a specific compound, but extracts which are coming from the plants, they have a certain number of compounds in it. Let's say this compound has been tested as anti-inflammatory, so they will be sold as natural anti-inflammatory.
Okay, turmeric is supposed to be anti-inflammatory.
Absolutely. Some of them can be cough reliever. Some of them can have an androgenic activity. So if people don't have enough testosterone, men don't have testosterone, so the supplement can be advertised as means to actually increase the concentration of testosterone inside the body. So my main concern with vitamins is the following. It is true that vitamin E, for example, is known to be antioxidant. By its very structure, a cleverly designed molecule, it can act as an antioxidant. This means that it can scavenge and trap that bad oxygen-centered radicals.
Now, is this the natural or the synthetic vitamin?
It is natural.
Okay.
It's the same. By the way, there is no difference between natural and synthetic if this is the same molecule. Right. But there are some issues with isomers. I cannot become too technical about this. But the problem is that even with vitamin E, which seems to be absolutely benign, natural, and we know that it is good for the body. The tests, you are absolutely right, have shown that if we overdo it, if men are taking more than 400 international units over an extended period of time, there was a spike in the incidence of prostate cancer. This was mind-boggling, unheard of, unprecedented, groundbreaking. Why? Because the word vitamin and E2 definitely do not even imply anything hurtful to the human body. What does it mean? We have to be careful. We know that male hormone can be carcinogenic. Female hormones can be carcinogenic. This is why we gave up with that hormone replacement therapy issue, right? And also with vitamins. They are compounds. They have compounds. If we overload the body, there is a very delicate balance inside the body. We should be very careful with that.
So we're taking the risk of upsetting that very delicate balance.
Absolutely.
With practically any supplement that we take?
Practically with any vitamins. I want to talk about supplements separately.
Okay.
So with vitamins, we should do what? We should establish if there is a need. There should be an established need. And these days, it's very easy to analyze. For example, vitamin D. It can be done a simple blood work. In a day or two, you can find out if you are vitamin D deficient or not. Then it is justified to take vitamin D
but
for a while.
What if those levels fluctuate? In other words, what if I go in for this test that's going to tell me what I need, and I've been really stressed out the past week, and so my levels of, say, vitamin B are down? I mean, how do we do these tests over time to get a mean, or how do you, I mean...
There are some fluctuations, in particular in concentration of man hormones and female hormone. It is true. So if there are certain compounds which are known to fluctuate, then it can be done, let's say, several times over a month, and the number can be averaged. It's not just they can change cell by cell orders of magnitude. We can get a pretty good idea what is the mean value for the particular human body.
Now, some people say, I'm sure you've heard this argument, the soil is depleted, right? The zinc is practically gone from the soil, therefore we have to take zinc supplements. Now, are you saying, again, have the test and a zinc deficiency will show up if it's there? Because there is this belief that because of agricultural practices that we have depleted the soil. And sometimes, to me, the food doesn't taste as good unless it's organic sometimes. I mean, it does seem like it comes from depleted soil.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the thing is that the analytical methods have been developed over the last 1-2 decades to the extent which is completely unprecedented. I can give you an example. If you take a bodily fluid, it can be saliva, it can be blood, it can be urine. Under certain conditions, we will analyze, and in one pass, in certain machines, I don't want to become technical, in certain machines, we can get a concentration or the content of tens of metals, including heavy metals, inside the body. Tens of vitamins. So analytical methods now are very developed. And we are arriving at the point when it can be a part of our everyday life, when we just swing by, ask our family practitioner, why don't you do the full panel of my heavy metals? I want to see to what extent my body is contaminated and what are the detox mechanisms which will allow me actually to free up my body from that contamination.
So what are some of the detox mechanisms? Are there things people should be doing to detox?
Unfortunately, in 2013, as of this afternoon, detox mechanisms are very deficient. Very deficient. I will give you an example. Lead. Unfortunately, we have lead in kids' toys. We have lead in many other products that we are dealing with. It can be a charger we are using. It can be any subject in the household. Lead is present even in the lipstick. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
that
cosmetics,
on the US market, you can buy a lead, and not just in some kind of a cheap store for 99 cents.
Some of the best, yeah, I read that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has been in the news.
Yeah.
I don't want to name certain companies,
No,
but the best companies,
yeah, some of the top
they are known.
companies, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, lead. One thing is, how come that we allow these things to happen? And I have to say, I don't think you know about this. I have been collaborating with certain consumer protection groups for over many, many years, trying to protect the American public against this kind of business practices so that we can implement better control over the quality of material which is sold in the U.S. markets and on the American soil.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not there. Going back to the detox situation is we should invest much more money so that we will know how to detox the bodies. Lead, for example, cannot be completely removed from the human body. Lead, unfortunately, accumulates inside the bones, can stay for many, many years, and as soon as we clean up certain amount of lead in the bloodstream, it desorbs from the bone back into the bloodstream.
I see. So
These
it's
are
complex,
serious,
yeah.
absolutely serious scientific issues.
And our time is actually going really fast here. We'll have to have you back on because there's so many things to discuss.
Absolutely.
How can people, I know you have the Alliance of Concerned Citizens that you founded. What's the best way for people to contact you and get involved?
First of all, I would like to get the word out. Mm-hmm. I have done a number of radio interviews, and thank you very much for your invitation. I really appreciate that. And I'm doing also all over the Los Angeles public presentations. Okay. And for lay audience and also for professional audiences.
Do you have a website where people can see?
The website is at the university website, which is the www.csun, stands for California State University Northridge, .edu /G Melikyan, Melikyan.
Okay, and hold
the book
up.
that you are referring to is also available on Amazon.
Here, hold it up.
Yes, yeah. Is this the right position?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So it's available on Amazon, and just simply, if you type in Google antioxidant guilty, there are 6,270,000 references, and the first reference is reference for this book because antioxidant and guilty combination is so rare.
So thank you so much, and we're going to go to break now and bring on our third guest, and this was Dr. Gagik Melikyan. Thank you again, and
Thank you.